Welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. Wednesday night, Charlie Morton went out there and shoved 7 innings of shutout ball. He set another career high and with 11 strikeouts, another not career high, season high, 11 strikeouts. He had 10 in his last outings. He now has 18 straight scoreless innings. And you knew I had to get on here and talk about this. You knew I had to get on there because the Charlie Morton rats, they come out after every bad start. And that's why I call them, because they're just rats. They hide in the shadows. They don't come out. They're peep quiet right now. But if he has one bad start, 2 bad starts, has a couple bad starts, they expect this 39-year-old veteran's not going to be able to figure it out. If you're still complaining about Charlie Morton at this point in the season, we are now 25 starts in. He has the best ERA of every Braves pitcher that is qualified. He has the 16th best ERA of every MLB pitcher that is qualified. He's striking out 10 batters per inning. He's 39 years old. He's been the most consistent pitcher in this rotation all season. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And yes, his walks are a little bit up. And yes, maybe his expected ERA. I don't care about expected ERA because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. That's just a bunch of advanced analytics that try to make your point. Yes, they are good tools to use, but we are 25 starts in. We are not start 7 in. We are not start 10 in. We are 25 starts in to a, 20-year major league career? The guy's good. He's worth the money. Enjoy him. He's throwing 95 miles per hour on average with the nastiest curveball. The curveball is the nastiest pitch in all of baseball. If you like advanced analytics, nastiest pitch in all of baseball. How do you not like this guy? It just blows my mind. I've been on this guy, like singing his praises for 2 years. And every time people want to comment, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, tell me he's not good, he's too inconsistent, it's this, it's that. Look at the numbers. He's been the best pitcher in our rotation all season. And if you're talking about number 3 starters in a playoff season, playoff Charlie Morton's a real thing. The guy's elite. There's not a better number 3 starter out there. It's just, I had to come out here and talk about it. I'm not even going to be here for the whole episode. I literally am going to be here for this one segment because I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it.
Yeah, still begging people to just stop watching baseball, sports in general, through an Excel spreadsheet. Yes, numbers, analytics, nerds, they are useful in certain situations, but they shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. Trust these 2 things. And if you've been watching Charlie Morton all season, I don't know how you could say anything other than he's absolutely worth $20 million. We talked about it after he broke his leg coming back into 2022, that you shouldn't expect him to be that same guy. And then in the latter half of that 2022 season, he started to turn into that guy that we knew as Charlie Morton. And then this past season, before the season started, people start, why are we giving Charlie Morton $20 million? You know, this, that. We have been there since the beginning of being like, you can't find guys like Charlie Morton just on the street willing to take a 1-year deal because they want that, security blanket. Now, you could argue, you like to say it all the time, if this was a 5-year, $100 million deal, you could, all the points you're making are valid. This is a 1-year deal with a club option every single year. From 2021, it was the same deal in 2022. And hell, if he is pitching like this, you can expect him to extend the exact same deal into 2024 with a club option into 2025. If he can still pitch, why not? And it's crazy because in today's money, $20 million for a starter is nothing. You said it, 16th best ERA in all of baseball. That's worth far more than $20 million. I mean, look at Verlander, Scherzer, DeGrom. Look at what all those guys got. DeGrom's younger, but those other 2 guys are the same age as Morton. I don't know how any Braves fan is not just – because if you go ask other fans, that's the thing. Braves fans, you don't know what you have because if you go ask every other team, they would love to have a guy like Charlie Morton as the 3rd pitcher in the rotation. He's our 3rd pitcher in the rotation when it comes to playoff time. No team can match it. Very few teams could match it. Arguably the best 3rd starter in all of baseball. I don't know why we still have to talk about this. We're just kind of rubbing people's noses in it at this point because people forget that they came out of their holes and came out from underneath their rocks to just start crawling and shitting on Charlie Morton. And it's crazy because For his entire Braves career, he's been the model of consistency outside of that 2020 first part of the 2022 season when he was still rehabbing from the broken leg. And then a few weeks ago, he went through a couple of rough stretches, and we act like pitchers aren't allowed to slump. Only hitters are allowed to slump, not pitchers. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Charlie Morton, he'll be on this roster as long as he wants to keep playing. He'll be on this roster next year. And I promise you, if he's still pitching like this, by this time next year, the Braves will extend him the exact same offer where they'll extend a club option for the following year after 2024. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and that brings me to the Fangraphs article that I actually quoted and wrote about the other day, that it's really not the Braves' decision. Like, the Braves are going to pick up this option. There's zero question about it. Just like I said the other day about Eddie Rosario, and I actually got some fight back on that on YouTube and stuff like that, which I was pretty shocked by. Listen, Eddie Rosario's $9 million option is going to get picked up. Charlie Morton's $20 million option is going to get picked up. The question is, does he want to play another year? Now, I see a scenario where if the Braves win the World Series, he says, hey, I've done all I wanted. I won 3 championships. I've got 3 or 4 kids or whatever. I'm 40 years old. But he basically said, hey, he said in that article, he said, for the longest time in my career, because he was not a great pitcher until he was like 33 years old and they switched him around. We talked about it when he went to Houston. They made him more of a power pitcher, fastball, curveball combination. That's when he started to take off. He said, for the longest time in the early part of my career, I thought the game was going to decide when I was going to retire. Now I know it's my decision. You know, like, I know I'm good enough to pitch at this level and continue pitching. And it doesn't make a lot of sense how I'm this good this late, but I am this good this late. And it's really just like, he even admitted that he came into this season thinking this was going to be his last one. But he was also like, I don't think about it. Like, I don't think about it like that. I'm trying to win a World Series. I'm not going to go be like, oh, is this my last year? Is this that? I'll reevaluate at the end of the year and decide, hey, do I want to play another year? So we'll see what happens. But listen, the decision on the Braves thing, it's another one of these painless decisions.
Not a decision.
It's not a decision. You're handing him that $20 million and you're saying, please come back. If I'm Alex Anthopoulos, I'm having maybe just a brief conversation. You don't want to push the guy, but you want to say, hey, man, we want you back. And you'd be a great piece to this team, because it's really that simple. There's no decision here. He's been so good this year. And, you know, I just wish a lot of people would just appreciate what they have, because it's like, dang, this guy's really good. He's doing this at 39 years old. The way he's pitching at 39 years old is just straight out unbelievable. And I guess as baseball fans, we get kind of used to the Max Scherzers and the Justin Verlanders of the world who have dominated at 39 years old. But this is not normal. Like, what Charlie Morton is not doing is not normal at this age. And he's been, you know, really just a steady hand, a steady presence in this rotation for the entire year. And he's really, to me, the biggest difference, because I think around the league, everyone has 1 to 2 starters. And sometimes you get these jacked up rotations where they have 4 or 5. But this year, everyone kind of has 1 or 2, especially in the National League, really good starters. And then there's a drop off and you're looking for that third guy. He's the biggest difference to me, the biggest X factor in the road as far as pitching goes compared to the rest of the National League. He's better than everyone else. So, you know, just count your blessings, because this guy might not be around next year, and this could be our best chance to win a World Series with him around and being that third guy.
No doubt about it. And outside of what he brings, you know, in terms of production, when he toes the rubber, he's invaluable as a veteran, as a leader. He's essentially another pitching coach. He's seen everything. He's been 2 different pitchers, very different pitchers throughout his career. You know, he has seen everything. He's done everything. He basically can address his own mechanics, though I'm sure he doesn't do it alone. He's like, you know, like Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods at the end of their careers, where it's like they've seen everything. They've done everything, that they can watch themselves and see where the mechanics are going wrong. Obviously, there's a coach there to kind of bounce ideas off, but Charlie Morton can address his own issues because he's seen everything and done everything. But that also bleeds into other guys in the rotation and the bullpen. The rotation is fairly young. I mean, Spencer Strider's young. Max Fried, I know he's approaching 30, but he still doesn't know everything. Kyle Wright. I mean, AJ Smith-Shawver. All these guys are so young. Yeah, they're so young that they just need to be sponges around a guy like Charlie Morton, who has seen everything, done everything. He's invaluable on the field and off the field.
They'll tell you. Like, they'll straight up tell you that. You ask anyone on that pitching staff who they look to when they need advice and stuff like that, and who's willing to give the most advice, it's Charlie Morton. And another thing that I want to say about him being 39 years old, beyond the numbers, just think about the fact that this guy goes out there every 5 days and gives you innings. I mean, we're talking about a guy at 39 years old that's going to give you 180, 200 innings. I mean, he's going to be up there with the league leaders in innings, ERA, everything. I mean, the way he's just prepared his body, the professionalism, like everything that he does is just like, it's amazing. And people can learn from it, because you don't get to this point at 39 years old where you can go out every 5 days and pitch very, very well. And just like, there's no worry about him. They're not like trying to eat like, oh, we got to cut Charlie back, he's a little older. No, this guy prepares for this better than anyone. And, he's one of the most prepared guys. And you see it in the way that he's able to take the ball every 5 days, go 7 innings, give you 7 strikeouts. Like it's amazing. And I just wish a lot of people, I hope now that he's going on this hot streak and you see at the end of the year, he's going to be one of the MLB leaders in ER, people can just appreciate what they have.